Well, good evening once again, everyone. It is still Wednesday, November 12th, 2025. It is now 6:07 p.m., and I'd like to call to order the City of Homestead Special Call Council meeting to order. Do we have a roll call, please?
Councilman Cannavale. Here. Councilwoman Avila. Here. Councilman Ross. Here. Councilwoman Konski. Here. Vice Mayor Bailey. Here. Mayor Lawson.
Here. All right. We have before us tab 1, which is the rolled over item with respect to code compliance lien mitigation request by the property owner 730 Northwest 17th Street. I think we've all been briefed on this. Is the property owner present? If so, please come down to the podium and give us your name and address for the record.
The address is 730 Northwest 17th Street.
Okay.
That's the address of the property.
And
I live in the Redlands, but Homestead.
well, that's the discussion we had a minute ago. The Redlands is not
Well,
Homestead. Gotcha.
The mayor said that I'm an outsider. You threw me off because I've lived in Ballard Drive for the last 40 years, since 1984. My first bank was First National, and that's been my only bank. I've been there. Now they switched to Senate, to whatever state. So I went through Andrew and all that. So that's where I bank. And that's where I'm a part of the community.
So unless you have anything new to add, we've heard your position.
Yeah.
We've been provided with the minutes from the meeting where your fine was originally reduced. We've given proof of all of the certified mail notices that were given. So I would open up the discussion to council now for you to take any questions and for us to hear each other's comments on where we are on this item. Councilwoman?
If it's not too much, just for the sake of new council, if we can have a brief overview of the case and any specifics that you want to address from the last time to this time for staff. Thank you.
All right,
Yes,
so
Mr. Co-Director, could you give a quick overview?
yes, quick
We have a new
overview of the
councilman.
time frames and the dollar amounts. And
Good evening, Honorable Mayor Council. Allow me one moment and I'll pull up the report that I had created and I'll read it. Second. Okay, so this property was originally cited on November 14, 2015, in reference to fire damage that occurred on the structure that was condemned by the building official. The property was issued the notice violation on the same day and was also sent via certified mail. The notice was originally signed for by Mr. Oscar Rollins. Subsequently, on August 16, 2016, a summons to appear before the special magistrate was posted at the property and mailed via certified mail. On September 1st, 2016, Mr. Rollins personally appeared before the special magistrate and the property was found in violation and they were found guilty. They were ordered to comply by September 23rd, 2016, which included securing the structure. On September 19, 2016, the order was also sent via certified mail. On July 19, 2019, a second hearing summons was posted at the property. It was also sent via certified mail. No one was present for the hearing, despite it being posted and sent via certified mail. On August 1st, 2019, the hearing was held. No one appeared. The fine was ratified at $100 per day until compliance was met. On January 15, 2020, an order of imposing fine was mailed to the property owner via certified mail. On February 18, 2021, the lien was recorded with Miami-Dade County via certified mail. From 2021 to 2024, the property was purchased by Mr. Rojo. On December 20th, 2021, a request for payoff was requested. Staff responded on the same day and was advised by previously Code Enforcement Manager Olivier that the payoff could not be provided because they had not closed out the permit for the work that was done at the property. Subsequently, on January 4th, 2022, a follow-up response was also given, clarifying that the outstanding fines would not be able to be calculated until the permit was closed out, as the fine is unable to be calculated until you have a compliant state. Subsequently, on March 22nd, 2023, the owner again requested a payoff, and the payoff was issued officially on May 19, 2023. On June 28th, 2023, and July 9th, 2023, the owner mailed both directly and through the general inbox requesting mitigation hearing. No response was recorded at the time. On March 28, 2024, the owner did follow up, and a mitigation hearing was scheduled for May 30th, 2024, and the owner did not appear. Subsequently, this case took about 8 years to comply. There are subsequent cases that did happen. So in July 6, 2018, they were issued a notice of violation in reference to noncompliance with the issued building permit and failure to complete the approved work. The fine for that started on July 20, 2019, and compliance was finally achieved on January 23rd, 2020. There was notices that were sent via certified mail on July 6, 2018. A follow-up was sent on July 19, 2018. On November 9th, 2018, a summons to appear was sent for the December 6, 2018 hearing. It was posted and sent via certified mail. On December 6, 2018, the hearing was held, and there was no appearance from the property owner, no representation. The property owner was found guilty, and the violation was given a 30-day compliance date. On December 29, 2018, the magistrate order was sent via certified mail. On June 24, 2019, following up to the summons to appear for the July 18, 2019 hearing was posted and sent via certified mail. On July 18, 2019, the hearing was held, no appearance, and the fine was ratified at $50 a day from July 20th, 2019, with a final compliance date achieved in January 23rd, 2020. All certified mailings were either ignored or returned. And then finally, for the third case, which was initially cited on September 14, 2018 for, again, unsecured structure, the fine started accruing on October 8, 2018, and compliance was achieved on June 11, 2019. Similar instances as the previous, it was also given a fine that was ratified at $50 a day from October 8th, 2018 until June 11th, 2019, when the city, again, abated the violation on behalf of the property owner, and the cost assessment was applied towards the case. There were several instances where the property owner was served via due process as required by Florida Statute 162, but unfortunately, since the property owner has the same address as the property as his mailing address, he never received those notices. So he never updated, nor did he have a forwarding address in order for the notices to be delivered rightfully to his property. But they were, in addition, as required by Florida Statute 162, posted at the property. I hope this gives clarity on the situation, and feel free to ask any questions I could clarify.
Okay, thank you. Councilwoman, is that
Thank you, yes.
answer your?
It does. It answers my questions, and I think that the magistrate reduced the fines from 190,000 to 40,000. That's where we're at now, right? Okay. And that was the offer that was made, right? Okay.
They said that she would do it more, but she couldn't do this. 85% is the max that she could go down.
Okay, I'll rest for now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Questions to my left, Madam Vice Mayor?
No real questions, just, yeah, how frustrating it is that, I understand that you didn't give a forwarding address. You never saw the notices posted for those 2 years you didn't
No,
visit the property?
nothing. I didn't see anything. That's why I was sending them emails. Why didn't they email me back to the email that I sent for a payoff? And say, look, we're sending notices. What's your address? You know, when I closed, I gave an address, I have to give your license and all that. And I'm not hiding, if my name is there, I'm right down the street. Couple blocks, country blocks, but couple blocks.
Well, I am happy that the work has been done, it's completed. I hope that we can
This has been a
we can
nightmare.
do as good as least as less of amount as possible, just because I understand the frustration. It's also so confusing when you're buying properties to not understand all of the things that are hiding behind
This is the
it.
first property I've ever bought, it's not like, this is the first property and the only property I've ever bought.
Unfortunately, that
This
was
is like a headache.
not, yeah. I would like to hear what some of my other colleagues have to say, but I really hope we can reduce it further just because it sounds like a very long string of bad luck and issues. That's all I have for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Councilman Roth?
Thank you, Mayor. So let's be, I want to be 100% accurate. It says here the total lien amount was $259,198.94. Is that the total lien amount?
That was the total amount.
No, I'm not asking you, I'm asking my
I'm
staff.
sorry.
The total lien amount is $259,198 with 94 cents.
Got it. So the magistrate reduced it by 85% to the number that we have today, which is the $40,635, which includes some of the recording fees and the miscellaneous charges.
Non-waivable amounts.
Right. So what I would be willing to do would do 90% of the original 259 and whatever the non-negotiable fees are. Somebody can give me that number. What would that number be?
$22,000, $25,000. Around there, right? 10%.
So if we reduce the lien amount, the amount that is allowed to be reduced by 90%, that would be a reduction to $25,825. And if we add the non-negotiable hard cost, we would get the amount of $26,773 with 94 cents.
Okay, I would be satisfied with that type of an arrangement. You're not going to get out of here scot-free.
I know, but you reduce other people.
But you're making noises and moaning and groaning like we're making bad decisions up here. Sir, you made a bad decision in purchasing that property.
True.
Okay?
Yeah, but
So let us do our job up here.
Extreme hardship.
Let us do our job up here. I'm bringing it down another 5% from the original magistrate's offer to you. Let's see what the rest of my colleagues will say. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilwoman? Okay. Be sure to turn on your mic. Okay. I take a little bit different view from my colleague, Councilman Roth. I think that the discretion of the special master is overly generous. And I come from this point. Those who live in HOAs have an extra layer of protection against this kind of behavior. It would have never gone on that long. Would have not been allowed to exist. So for me, living in a non-HOA area that's inundated with a lot of issues, I kind of view that we sit as that line of defense for those non-gated, non-HOA type communities. And that you know, we need to stand our ground, and I'd like to make a distinction between some of the other additional waivers we've recently made, in that, generally speaking, nobody's going to get hurt, and neighborhood values aren't going to be impacted by someone failing to get a business license or a certificate of use. This was a house that sat unsecured and burned in a neighborhood for several years with no action by the owner. And, you know, you're charged with knowing what's going on at that property. You're charged legally with being in receipt of that notice. Now, I don't know if you had representation when you bought the house, and it doesn't matter. Probably in hindsight, you know, your home address should have been the address for notices. How did you get the tax bills? Tax bills were going to that house.
Tax bills don't even call until you finish the house,
Pardon?
until you finish the house.
There had to be a tax bill? Okay, all
You
right.
said the house was unsecured. I'm building a house. There's 2 walls to the house. There's nothing there. There's not a danger.
It was burned out
It was
and
burned out,
boarded
and
up,
I took it, I
and
threw
you
it all
bought
away, and I
it
left 2 walls.
subject to a
The
lien.
gentleman told me if I would have knocked it all down, then I wouldn't have had, there's literally 2 walls that were 20 feet and 20 feet. That's what's left.
Is it your testimony that you didn't get tax bills until the house was finished?
I don't recall getting, tax bills. I don't know if my daughter was
So the
paying
land
it.
had no value then?
Yeah.
So
I don't know if my
there's
daughter was paying it,
no
but-
tax certificates, no tax liens all of those years. We know better.
Imagine it was getting paid,
To-
but I don't recall that getting.
To your
tax bills.
question, Mr. Roth, I can't support any further reduction. This is, to me, an egregious case of really not caring about the condition of the neighborhood and just not taking the steps that an investor or property owner needs to take to secure, maintain, and create a safe condition in a neighborhood. So I've got to go with the full amount. I think that the 85% is very generous in light of the duration of the violation. It's pretty significant, years and years and years. So I'll rest with that. Councilwoman.
Thank you. I have a question for our code department with regards to the actions that we are able to take. So as the mayor mentioned, in the associations, if fines accumulate, we're able to lien, and then we can take certificate of title, and we could improve, rent, sell, assuming demolish, assuming no mortgage or what have you. My understanding is that we do not implement that process. Is there a specific reason why, and would that have old one? What year?
Bear with me 1 second.
The fire was in 16, and the current owner acquired sometime in 18?
No, I bought it in 17.
17, okay.
I think I got it in 17. I have the paperwork if you want to look at the permit thing.
That's in our package.
And I have the pictures of the.
Yeah, they
house.
applied for it in 17, so it
17.
was
I
an applied
tried to
permit.
resolve the problem as soon as possible. Remember, my mom died in my hands, and my mom lived with me all my life. It's not like she lived in a home or I put her in a home. You know, I had extreme hardship. My brother died right after. My sister died right after. My mental, you know, and I was trying to juggle the whole family thing and comply, like the gentleman says. I was doing the permit, you know, and building the house. You know, the whole neighborhood loves what happened there. It's not like the neighborhood was going through some, you know, dilapidated house like I was before for 10 years or 20 years. I came in there and fixed the neighborhood, and then it makes it sound like I left the house abandoned. No, I was working towards the permits. I never lost a permit. I was working towards the permits, and you know, doing the best I could with the mental, you know, gravity that I had, my extreme hardship. You know, my mother lived with me all my life. You know, like to the day she died. This really flip me out. You know, I didn't work as fast as I would have liked to.
Okay, the Vice Mayor has another question.
Thank you. So if he pulled permits in 2017, how did we not have better contact information for him? If we are, you know, I understand that, but if there's active permits being,
The permit was listed in the system as an owner builder, and again, the address was listed at the property address, a house.
I was there every day next door, right here, right here. Everybody knows me. I know everybody there from
so
Linda
that's the
to
piece I don't
everybody.
understand is how those notices went unnoticed
I
that
was
were
there.
being posted at the home.
I didn't get it. It was. Why didn't they give it to my neighbors? They never gave it to me. And there's workers there working. It's not like this gets built with a magic wand. You know.
And
it's
we
a
don't send an
coincidence.
email, right? We don't, that's not part of our
I have my
communications
emails.
process when you submit a building
For a very
permit?
long time during that process, we didn't have his contact information.
I have my email
So
from-
when he did send an email, a response was sent to him. So he did obtain a permit back in 2017, but he also let the permit lapse. So it's a little bit of a game, a waiting game. Like you pull the permit, we cite you for the non-compliance. You have to wait until after the 6 months has expired. Then you get cited again. Then it was kind of like a back and forth with the code violation volley. He did reach out and send an email in regards to that for the non-compliance of the permit. We cannot give you a payoff. So at that point, the property, we had already cut the grass. We had already boarded it up. We had already done that in the beginning. What he's talking about is the years into the permit back and forth. I believe he put on an addition to the property. There was other upgrades to the property that he did make, but that didn't cure the violation until the permits are closed. So until you get the CO, we cannot stop the case in hopes that you will get it done conditionally in a period of time. And this
I
was
don't
a
understand.
long, extensive period of time to get the permits closed.
I don't understand, excuse me, I don't understand why it says an unsafe structure when it has a roof, impact windows, and, you know, everything on there, just because I don't have a CO, but it's not unsafe no more. The
Right.
moment it has a roof and it has impact windows and it's a house, what's unsafe about it? Before it was because the windows were broken and the roof was on fire. I agree.
So
I
until
knocked
the-
it all down. I left 2 walls. I got it as an addition, so I wouldn't have to pay road impact fees. If I would have known, I would have done what the gentleman said, knock the whole house down. I wouldn't have had to pay anything. Somebody would have informed me and told me, look, I had no information. It's my, you're right, the gentleman's right, Mr. Roth. That's my, you know.
I recall there was a question I had at the last meeting that I was trying to get clarification of what was the balance of the fines from, at the time that the structure was no longer considered unsafe.
The structure is not livable until a permit is issued by the building department.
That I understand, but
So
from,
About
that's what he's
CO, right?
referencing. So.
a final CO is upon final, but
Wasn't it, the case fine stopped as soon as he got the CO. So it didn't go on beyond that, it's just, it took that long to get to that point. It's not that he had a CO and we kept citing him, or his fine kept accruing. As soon as the case ends, the daily accruing fine ends, once the permit is finalized and issued, not at the time of application. At the time of application, like he said, was 2017. The time of finalization was what?
Yeah, but I had the
March
roof on there
19,
by
2019.
2018. You know, I had the roof on
March
there.
19,
Plus the
2019.
permitting in there is a nightmare.
2019, so it took that long to get a final CO. We cannot close the case because the case is not truly in compliance until it's in compliance with the Florida Building Code.
so we're talking about from 2017 to 2019, a 2-year period.
For the original permit, which was an addition that he started with, because as Crystal mentioned, the property owner did other things as opposed to restoring the property. He began an addition process and he began to modify the property to what he was wanting to do with it as an investment property. I will also note in the packages that you were provided, the pictures of the postings at the property itself were also provided, further proving that the staff did go out there and did post out at the property. So I'm not sure why the property owner didn't see those notices when they were clearly posted at the property.
Pictures?
I wasn't quite done yet, but I just wanted to, it's okay. I just wanted to put out there for consideration, the extensive hardships, then going into COVID, if we can consider Councilman Roth's proposal, I personally would like to see that happen. Thank you.
You want me to make the motion?
Make the motion.
All right, I make the motion that we reduce the fine from the original 85% down to 90% of the total, which was 259,000 and some change. I don't have it right in front of me, but I'll make a motion to reduce the fine to that number, plus the, whatever they said.
26?
All right, so I made the motion. It's been seconded.
So it's been moved and seconded for the number that was determined, the,
$26,773.94.
And I'd like to add, this is a very, in my mind, this is a very unique case, given the extenuating circumstances historically and the personal challenges that you had. But I don't see this being a case that we would have come before us again and again and be able to make this kind of concession. So please make sure you don't get another violation on that property, please. Yeah, thank you.
Buy that, you'll be impressed.
Make sure we have your correct mailing address on
Why
file.
not? Just 1155 something. I have the email. If I email you, just email me, hey, we're trying to get in touch with you. You're asking about this property? I mean, you're the owner?
well, I just want to say that while this is still a significant amount of money, I get that. $26,000 is a lot of money, no matter how much you've got. I think it is very disrespectful to the people of that neighborhood to set this precedent. And for you to stand there and say you didn't get the tax bills or there were no, that's very disingenuous, and I don't think the tax records are even available to go back that far. So if the property address was on the deed, that's where your tax bill was going. Sometime, somehow, you figured out the taxes were due. So you reached in and you got the tax bill.
My wife takes care of those things. She does my emails and she does the stuff.
No, tax bills are not rendered by email. It's old fashioned.
No, it's not rendered by, but she's the one that takes care of that for both, for where my mom lived and she pays it in person, so it's like.
But the point is that tax bills were being retrieved once a year at the house, yet our tons of notices.
There's no mailbox there. There's nothing being retrieved there.
The mayor is right. The postings were being made. If you were visiting the property to check how high the grass was, you would have
seen it.
noticed it. So this is a very unique in my mind, and tomorrow I might even feel different. So
Okay.
the mayor is correct in what he's saying.
All right, sir.
It doesn't add up. Thank you. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further comment from council? Now, Mr. Direct, whoever can answer this so that everyone is clear, what is the time frame within which this reduced amount must be paid in order for the property owner to get the benefit?
At the discretion of council, you may choose a date that you so see fit.
Okay. So I'd like to ask the maker of the motion to clarify. We need to set an end date, a payment not later than date. Or this offer dissolves and it goes back to the 40.
Okay, so what's normal? 30 days?
So per the city ordinance, if it goes to magistrate, they have 30 days as of the order to make the payment.
Okay.
The ordinance does give council the ability to choose any date. So if you choose 30 days, that's at your discretion. If you choose 120 days, that's your discretion.
All right, thank you.
How much time do you think you need?
Can you cut the check today?
Let's make a deal.
I got a check, it's gonna bounce like this. Nah, just, you know, whatever you can give me.
So obviously, there's no mortgage on the house because one would not be obtainable with these liens pending.
Yeah, just give me whatever, you know, is best for you guys. I'll find to get the money.
We'll defer to the maker of the motion.
All right, so
60 days will be great, you know, like that.
done.
So, did you second? Okay. So the motion has been amended. The settlement amount payable not later than 60 days from today. Calendar days from today, right?
Cashier's check or personal check, cashier's check or gold coins?
Gold coins, that works.
Bitcoin? No, Bitcoin.
Okay.
All right, so we need a roll call vote on that motion, on that settlement amount.
Councilman Cannonball? Yes. Councilman Ross? Yes. Councilwoman Konski? Yes. Councilwoman Avila?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Bailey? Mayor Losner?
Nope,
The motion carries.
just like the old days, okay. All right, 60 days. Was in the old comedies, the judges used to say 60 days or $60? You're not old enough to remember. Okay, where does that leave us? That leaves us at
Tab 2.
tab 2, Mr. Pearl.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Tab 2 is a resolution of the City Council of the City of Homestead, Florida, directing the city manager to suspend disconnection or interruption of water, sewer, electric, and solid waste services due to non-payment for all furloughed federal workers and federal workers not receiving pay during the current federal government shutdown and for the next 60 days after the end of such shutdown, providing that no late fees or penalties shall accrue during the suspension period, providing for eligibility, providing for a payment plan, providing for implementation, and providing for an effective date.
While we've been sitting here, has the shutdown been ended?
They still need more time.
Yeah. Well, but it says the current shutdown. I mean, should we amend this to provide any shutdown? Because we all know there will be shutdowns in the future, and this is a fair and appropriate to amend that with, you know, any federal shutdown. Yeah. Okay, so Councilman Roth, it's your item. You moved it with the amendment to provide for any shutdown, not limited to the current shutdown. And I have the second by Councilwoman Avila. Any further discussion from council? Let's open the public hearing. All right, let's do a roll call.
Councilman Cannonball? Yes. Councilman Ross? Yes. Councilwoman Konski? Councilwoman Avila?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Bailey? Yes. Mayor Losner?
Yes.
The motion carries.
Thank you. Moving on to tab 3, Mr. Pearl.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Tab 3 is a resolution of the City Council of the City of Homestead, Florida, adopting the City of Homestead's 2026 legislative priorities, authorizing the city manager to pursue the legislative priorities, providing for implementation, providing for submission, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you. Mr. Manager, any input?
Yes, Mr. Mayor and Council, the administration would love to see some level of prioritization of this. Once we start sending this out to the legislative body in Tallahassee, they probably will be asking us the same question that was posed last year. What are your top 5 or top 3 priorities? So I would like for council to give us guidance. My recommendation will be to at least include some of the infrastructure improvements on that list, especially the drinking water storage tank and pressurization of the system on the east side of the city, where a lot of developments are coming on, as well as the sports performance hub is going to come up on stream. That requires us to focus attention in that area. So I would recommend to have that as our topmost priority on this list.
Well, that's the pressurization of
Yes,
the water
sir.
tank.
That's on page 5 of the attachment, which says drinking water storage tank near Homestead Miami Speedway.
Yes. So that's priority 1. And are the Chrome and Flagler projects those are some of the items that we may go forward with anyway.
So those ones, we already anticipate to use some of the loan money. Carlos, you want to confirm the funding mechanism? Because we anticipate to start construction first quarter of next year. The design is almost done, and the MOTs are being coordinated. One of the topmost challenges of those two projects is how to phase them to have construction that will require shutdown or close of streets to happen only at night. No road closures during the daylight hours. It can only happen at night. So, Mr. Public Works Director, do we have sufficient funding for Chrome and Flagler?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Yes, at the moment, we haven't gotten the bids yet, but based on our cost estimates, we believe that we have sufficient funds with the grants that we receive from the FDA and the allocated funding that we have for infrastructure, as well as if we accept the loan that was recently opened, the bids that were recently opened, we would have enough to also complete the project. These are all based on cost estimates, engineering cost estimates.
Okay.
With contingencies.
So the Chrome and Flagler items on page 5 are not really top priorities. I mean, not in the top 5. Is that what you're saying? That
Which ones
we
are those?
we have
We feel
resources to
comfortable
go forward.
To go forward, yes.
All right. Now, would the second item on page 6, where would that be located? The District 3 for $3 million. The second item on page 6 in the exhibit.
Those are the undersized and aged water mains. If you notice, I've been saying this consistently, most of the city infrastructure are way below what we should be having. For the upgrades of the undersized water mains, phase 3, I believe we received money for a couple of phases this current session from Tallahassee. So that should be something of priority as well.
There are many areas within the city that the water infrastructure is substandard, where the sizes of the pipes could be anywhere from 1 to 2 inches, servicing the neighborhood. The material is also material that was used in the past, but is no longer used in water service lines. And some may not even have fire hydrants in the system because of the size of the mains.
So the reason we phased those 3 projects as independent projects because of the size of the funding that we need.
Right.
Last year, we were told by our lobbyists, if you bundle all of them together, chances of getting anything is 0.
Right.
So we broke them into districts, District 1, District 4, and District 3. District 4 with $15 million is a whole big chunk of money that I wouldn't put it at the top priority. I will focus on District 1. Oh, District 1 is also 13 million. So District 3 is the only one where we can throw in there.
Well, but the utility undergrounding is northwest and southwest.
Yeah.
That was when we lost, I guess there's no more brick funding available under the new administration. We had some clawed back at the beginning of the year. Well, and, you know, I think clearly, and I know we'll have a more full-blown report perhaps from you and Councilman Fletcher about your trip to Phoenix, but it seems that the Joint Operations Center on or near the racetrack,
Yes.
which would also house a permanent police presence, would be a real priority. This last item on page 7.
The intent is to see if we can proceed with the Joint Operations Center and have it co-host temporarily the police department if we move forward until we're able to raise enough money to build a more permanent station. As we speak, I think we've just been approved for about $259,000 from the county towards the Joint Operations Center. The intent is to find a building where we can temporarily refurbish or upgrade and use it. The money will be available sometime in the next 1 year, not immediately. So we want to start building bridges and building blocks, get trickles of funding in place. We don't anticipate to find somebody who's going to give us $2 million to go do a police station. So that's why we want to start getting trickles of tranches of money. So I would throw in the
where I
Homestead
s-
Joint Operations Center.
That would, for me, be in the top five, the Joint Operations
And that should
Center.
be in the east side of the city
Yes,
as well.
absolutely.
So one of the suggestions we're looking into is to explore the possibility of the new sports performance hub area at the Homestead Sports Complex area, whether there will be opportunities to carve out some little piece of property there and do that project jointly with them. That will be way east of the city that will serve a lot of purpose. It will address the east side of the city, the sports performance hub, as well as the speedway.
With no land acquisition
Yeah, with
required.
no land acquisition.
Yeah. I mean, that kills a lot of birds with
Yeah.
one stone. So, and again, a lot of folks that I talk to, and I'm sure a couple or three others of you talked to over the last couple of months, are really looking forward to having that ultimate police presence on the east side of town. Yeah. And if this is a way we have to build toward it, so be it. So how many do we have of the top five?
You have, I think you have three. The drinking water storage tank near the speedway on page 5 is one. You have the second bullet on the page 6, which is in District 3, the undersized water mains. Then you have the Joint Operations Center on page 7.
When are you turning this in to our lobbyists?
So the state legislature is currently in session for committee assignment. The actual session starts January 13th, and it's going to run for, I believe, 60 days till March 13th.
Well, and just a second, but with respect to some of these public streets and right-of-way improvements, page 6, middle, more or less the middle of page 6. I believe that at our meeting next week, we're going to talk about potential priorities for bond projects. And I would like to see us, if we have the luxury of time, to dovetail our decision on those priorities with ancillary funding request here. Let's look at the bigger picture priorities and see where these fit in.
So just to be clear, once you get money from Tallahassee, they're going to ask us to pledge a match. If we get 500,000, you might be asked to put in 500,000. So we are hoping that the trust fund for roadways will be our matching funds for any of the successful grants from Tallahassee.
Does our Public Works Department have any input on what the priority public streets and right-of-way improvements would be based upon immediate need balanced with reasonable costs that are going to be funded from Tallahassee from among those on the list? And I know you've got it right at the top of your head.
The bridges, by far, widening the bridges that are currently only 2 lanes, 2 ways. Also, their construction mechanism is also obsolete. It's called sonobuoy construction, and they're not really safe. They're no longer being built that way. So those would be my top priorities, and that would be 162nd Avenue, Maury, and 147th Avenue.
So I guess what you're saying is none is more urgent than the other. They all have equal priority.
Depending on the funding, I would say 162nd, since we already have a grant that is federal, correct?
So is that the one that you show here as Northeast 18th Ave?
18th Ave, 162nd.
It's $4,050,000. Because I don't see 167th or 2nd.
162nd.
But there's no 162nd in your list here.
We don't have that one. Which other bridges is that is on the list?
You've got East Maury Drive, 147th Avenue, 18th Avenue. That's what I was asking, is 18th the same as 162nd?
I believe it is, because 12 is the one by Harris, so
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, so that would be the bridge for $4,050,000. So your
And-
advice
and-
is that would be the priority from among the bunch?
I'm thinking as far as funding, it could assist us with the funding that we already have.
Yeah, and that one's the least costly among this list. So are we okay with adding that as priority 4? Bridge number 876010, 467 Northeast 18th Ave?
Would that also include the 4-laning all the way from North Canal to Campbell? Because that's the same street that narrows down and opens up and narrows down.
I think that's going to be the bond discussion, or whether or not where we are with the county with
So
some of
we can
these
run
other
it,
projects.
yeah, if we can run it in conjunction with that,
That's what I
4-lane
mean,
that
yeah.
all the way down, so that would make
Yeah.
that a lot better. So, yeah, I think
Yeah.
18th Avenue would be the priority on when it comes to asking for this.
Among
for-
that bundle of
Yeah.
bridges, okay.
So we have 4?
We- Okay, we have the water pressurization for the east side.
The police?
We have the Joint Operations Center. We have the bridge. And I believe on page 6, we were looking at the second water item, Phase 3 in District 3, the $3,050,000. So we're looking for one more to get into the top 5, and the rest of them seem to be more pricey. Now, we've got, while we're doing, is there any benefit, kind of a economy of scale to do a similar project at Whitcop at the same time?
Actually, we do have that as, I believe, the second item on page 5.
Correct. Underwater distribution,
Yeah,
yes.
you can throw that in to be the second one. or
So
the fifth
that
one.
would be the top, that would round out the top 5.
In the past, we've done some civil service type things too. I don't know if they look better at those, like either breast cancer awareness or seniors programming or youth programming or something like that. Would that be an easier one for them to just drop $500,000 on the city to do some programming like that?
Yeah, I was told that the city was successful in the past and ended up returning the money without using it.
Well, that won't happen now, will it?
Not under
It's
this
not gonna happen.
leadership.
That's
Yeah.
what I was going to suggest also, keep hearing senior programming at
Yeah.
FICO.
But
I
but
would
the
highly
big ticket
recommend-
items.
I would highly recommend what the Vice Mayor just suggested. If you look at the history of this current fiscal year, Miami got wiped clean, except senior feeding program. That was the only one the governor allowed to sell through. So we're going to look into some kind of senior feeding program. Yeah, it's going to go through easily.
Along with regular programming.
Yeah.
Activities.
Okay.
Which are all listed in this package, as they normally are.
With the permission of council and mayor, allow us to work with the vice mayor to craft the final program for this senior citizen program and put it as number 6. Remember, there's no priority line in it. Just list all 6 and tell them, listen, choose from here.
So be it. Any objection to that, having the vice mayor be the point person with those social service type issues?
My pleasure.
Because you have nothing else to do.
No, I know. I have so much extra time, it's ridiculous. I just wanted to make one comment. Are we going to discuss the policy priorities, or would that be something for later? So I just wanted to make it a point. I know sometimes we need to focus on some of the things that would get us the bigger bang for our buck. With the bond passing for the roadway improvements, to definitely focus on the mobility impact fee. I think that looks especially good to the
Absolutely.
yeah, so they see that we are doing things on our end. And then I was just curious as far as the next item, the preservation of the Community Redevelopment Agency, especially with these water pressure improvements, to have a big focus on the CRA and see if through CRA funds, we would, be better equipped to make those improvements for District 4.
Yeah, it just generally, there has been a focus by members of the legislature from throughout the state to just one size fits all, wipe them out. So it's just, yeah, we're doing our part. We've been doged and we stand apart.
Thank you.
Okay.
Is this an opportunity to throw in the request for turnpike funding?
Actually, that's a very good point to add to this. Add the resolution from the city, which already been passed, urging the state to find some funding for the new intersection at Lucy at the
Right.
Turnpike.
And specifically showcasing that the land has been dedicated.
yep.
So we're already matching, or I don't know if we can claim.
We'll
that
add
as
that
much.
to this.
Well, the developers made the match.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll find a way there. And, we'll challenge the authority one day. They keep relying upon some council action that said, if you do it, we'll pay for half. That doesn't exist. That was bluster by one of my predecessors. Turnpike Authority needs to get beyond that. Okay. So, moved by the vice mayor as directed by council. Second by Councilman Cannonball. Anything further? All in favor? Any opposed? All right. And then tab 4, I think, is related somewhat to tab 2, to create that program with respect to any government shutdown. So do we have a motion on that, Councilman Roth? That's your item? It's been moved by Councilman Roth, seconded by Councilwoman Avila.
Mayor and Council,
Yes.
just a sec. If the federal shutdown is going to end in the next 24 hours, as expected, I don't know whether we still need this companion item to this, because you just voted to approve the previous one and change the format from this to any future. But this is just to provide funding. We might not have money if it happens next year or any other year. We might not be here, but then you have tied the hands of the administration to go look for money.
Okay. So I guess in the future, when there is a shutdown, we can provide funding to the program that we previously approved tonight. Is that
Subject to availability of
right?
money.
Subject to availability. And we've got the CARE, whatever it's called now. Was it CARES program? Anyway,
Can I ask? a
Yes.
question? Thank you. So I did have someone reach out asking about whether or not the city was going to be passing something. So with regards to deferring payments or helping people catch up with the payment plan,
That was in the prior item.
that was in the prior item, but are we waiving fees, late fees? And like, we don't need the CARES funds to do that, right?
So with the resolution that was previously adopted, we are not applying late fees for this period of time. So if there's an account that had late fees before, right, then that would not be waived because it existed before October 1st. But if October 1st, if a customer account who's a federal employee incurred late fees, then we would stay those late fees. And it would not be, it doesn't need to be a part of the federal worker program that is being deliberated for that to happen. That would happen under the previous resolution that was just passed.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So, Vice Mayor?
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, so for example, someone that works at the Everglades Park who's a resident in Homestead, how would they reach out to the city?
Is this in context to
I'm-
this resolution item?
The previous
prior.
one, for example, the prior.
So the item has now passed. We've been working with our utility payment provider that we are putting a blurb on the Paymentus website that says, if you're a federal employee experiencing hardship, please contact us. So that is something that we are, again, it passed tonight, so we will formalize it tomorrow with the Paymentus and our customer service team on how they would be able to contact us to find out about the relief.
Okay, so I think we should also put it on the physical bill, because speaking of paymentus, you know, we're all on automatic payments now, so nobody's really visiting the site.
Yes, we can put it also as a note.
On the
Social
physical
media.
bill, and social media would be
Okay.
great. Thank you.
Okay, so are we going to, how do we deal with this? Defer this indefinitely?
So there were a couple of discussion points. I just want to make sure. So as the city manager pointed out, any amendment to this would impose future funding obligations, which we may not be comfortable with. But where were we on funding it for this period? Because the resolution is written is solely for this shutdown in this period, which has funding. So you can do that if you would like to do that, or you can elect not to move forward and not to fund the project and not adopt the resolution.
Yeah, I would prefer for staff to have the mechanism in place to be able to capture any unforeseen situations. Like, we're trying to envision what might come up that you might need the relief funds for, and if we can pass the resol the way it's written for this furlough, and then for future furloughs, we can identify the funding mechanisms to support the relief in the future. So, I mean, if you end up not using any, you don't use any, but at least if you have it, you have it.
That's good. That's good. Let's do that. Let's pass this for this current
As it
one,
is.
then in the future.
Well, and all this does is it expands the eligibility under our CARES program to workers who have been furloughed.
Correct.
So, yeah,
Uh,
we're
just-
not adding money, we're expanding eligibility.
Just a point of
Yeah.
clarification, Mr. Mayor. The Homestead Cares Program has specific requirements that the federal worker program will not. For example, income verification using the ALICE threshold would not be applied in this particular program because it's a different criteria. There is required documentation and verification, but it's not Homestead Care. So we do have a criteria baked in for this specific program that is unique to the program.
All right. You move it? Moved and seconded. I think we've had the discussion. Is there anyone wishing to speak on this matter? All right, let's have a roll call on tab 4.
Councilwoman Avila? Councilman Ross? Councilman Cannavale? Councilwoman Konsky? Vice Mayor Bailey? Mayor Losman?
Yes.
The motion carries.
And moving on to tab 5, Mr. Pearl.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Tab 5 is a resolution of the City Council of the City of Homestead, Florida, approving the award of a contract to CMG Pipelines, Inc. in the amount of $2,498,256.75 for ITB 2025-35 Pump Station 22 upgrades, providing for implementation, providing for an effective date.
Thank you. For clarification, Mr. Manager, this is a new project. This is not supplemental to the bypass that was recently done.
No, the bypass program was what we call innovation to facilitate for us to come into compliance with the county. However, the construction was done under bypass will continue to be part of the permanent fix. So this current item you have before you tonight is simply to complete the required upgrades for the actual pump station. What we did in the past was the transmission system,
The easterly pump
the
station.
pumps.
Okay,
No, what we did before was just the pipelines.
right.
And now we're going to do the actual permanent pump station.
Okay,
So
thank you.
we bifurcated it into two. I think tabs 5 and 6 are
Correct.
companion items. One, we actually going to do owner supplied equipment so that we can take advantage of the lead time to procure the equipment early enough.
Okay, so Mr. Pearl, let's read these jointly, and we'll have this joint discussion and then vote separately.
Okay.
Tab 6.
Tab 6 is a resolution of the City Council of the City of Homestead, Florida, approving the award of a contract to Hydroservice, Inc. in the amount of $316,616.49 for ITB 2025-36, purchase of submersible pumps and control panel to upgrade Pump Station 22, providing for implementation, providing for an effective date.
Thank you. Mr. Director.
Well, hello there. So, as Mr. Manager had explained, What we had to do for this project in particular was, first of all, take it out of moratorium so that everyone could connect. But unfortunately, we didn't have sufficient funding, so we had to phase out the project. The first phase was the installation of the force main from the water treatment facility all the way to the pump station. And as part of that phase, in order to maintain continuity of service during the next phase, once the additional grant was awarded and we were able to go through many, many steps that we went through, but we got through it, was to do some construction in that first phase that would allow us to stay connected. So we converted the existing wet well to a transition manhole. We installed the pumps that are temporary, operating at higher capacities, allowing us to get out of moratorium, plus few additional wells that allow us to get to the one that we're constructing now. At the same time, because of the long lead times that we are all, facing, we used some of the money to purchase what we call OFEs, owner furnished equipments. We already have 2 in hand, and the pumps would be the third component that are long lead. By long lead, we're talking about 20, 30 weeks. By doing this at the same time as we are entering into an agreement with the contractor, we're saving at least 4 months of lead time.
Right. Council, any questions? The director or the manager on either of these projects for tabs 5 or 6? Okay, do we have a motion on tab 5? No. Moved by Councilman.
So before you vote, right, just point of clarification. We are going to adopt this same scenario and phasing for pump station 11. We're going to go ahead and do the pipe installation so that all those businesses and developments can now connect. I was speaking to Mr. Jason Barnes earlier this evening. I said, we'll have a solution for you, right? As soon as we finish the internal work we're doing, we phase pump station 11 using the same template that we use for pump station 22. So going forward, you see a number of iterations of pump station 11 project coming forward.
Right, but when we do that, let me just ask that we have full transparency, and we cannot run from the fact that when pump station 11 is authorized and goes forward, that it will immediately enable several hundred new units on the west side. Yep. Previously approved, but not permittable because of that. And I want to make the analogy to the CDD. Already approved, and, maybe it did, maybe it didn't move them forward, but same analogy, that but for our action, those units are not going to go forward, those previously approved. But for our action in the future on pump station 11, those units do not have the ability to come out of the ground. Several hundred, and includes Homestead Gardens and Touching Miami with Love, but several hundred townhouse units as well. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Manager. So we have a motion and a second on tab 5. There's no further discussion. Let's have a roll call vote on tab 5.
Councilman Ross? Yes. Councilwoman Avila? Yes. Councilman Cannavale? Yes. Councilwoman Konsky? Yes. Vice Mayor Bailey? Yes. Mayor Lawson?
Yes.
The motion carries.
And a motion, please, on tab 6. Moved by Councilman Roth. Seconded by Councilwoman Avila this time. She beat you to it. All right, let's have a roll call vote.
Councilwoman Avila? Yes. Councilman Ross? Yes. Councilman Cannavale? Yes. Councilwoman Konsky? Yes. Vice Mayor Bailey? Yes. Mayor Lawson?
Yes.
The motion carries.
Mr. Pearl, tab 7, please.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, tab 7 is a resolution of the City Council of the City of Homestead, Florida, accepting a proposal and approving work authorization for professional services required for the city's stormwater infrastructure survey within the CRA between the city and KCI Technologies, Inc., as assigned by Keith and Schnarr's PA to pursuant to continuing contract awarded under RFQ 2013-07, providing for an effective date.
Mr. Director?
All right, then. So
This ain't sexy, but it's necessary.
This project is necessary because the county is requiring all municipalities and every utility that has stormwater to give them a detailed survey and GIS of their entire system that we manage, and then we have to update it in subsequent years. We already passed last year council passed a resolution to perform this survey on all the infrastructure that was outside of the CRA, because during those times we were working on the budget and we were in coordination with the CRA, and there was an understanding that they would pay for it because they had the funding at that time. Subsequent to that, there were issues with CRA funding that came from the county, unfortunately. We readjusted some of the funding that they were providing to assist with infrastructure improvements in the CRA area, and we nevertheless still have to do the survey in order to comply with the county requirements. For that reason, we're bringing this car item for approval so that we can continue moving forward and make sure that we meet the deadline and do not suffer any penalty when the time comes. And that deadline is December 31st of 2026, and believe it or not, it would take this long to get it all done. We're currently working on it as it is.
Gotta love the unfunded mandates. Any questions, comments? How about a motion? Moved by Councilman Cannonball, seconded by Vice Mayor Bailey. Any further discussion? Okay, let's have a roll call vote.
Councilman Cannonball? Yes. Councilwoman Konski? Yes. Councilman Roth?
Yes.
Councilwoman Avila? Yes. Vice Mayor Bailey?
Yes.
Mayor Losner?
Yes.
The motion carries.
And Mr. Pearl, tab 8, please.
Yes, tab 8 is a resolution of the City Council of the City of Homestead, Florida, authorizing the city manager to take such actions to develop a citywide Vision Zero Safety Action Plan initiative with the aim of zero traffic fatalities and serious injuries on the city's roadways, providing for implementation and providing for an effective date.
Thank you. I think we've seen this before. Questions or comments from council? Do we have a motion to approve? Moved by Vice Mayor Bailey. And a second by Councilman Cannonball. No further questions. Let's have a roll call vote.
Councilman Roth? Yes. Councilwoman Avila? Yes. Councilwoman Konski? Councilman Cannonball? Yes. Vice Mayor Bailey? Yes. Mayor Losner?
Yes.
The motion carries.
Thank you. Mr. Pearl, tab 9.
Tab 9 is a resolution of the City Council of the City of Homestead, Florida, approving the settlement of all subrogation claims arising from a settlement made by Oriel Zamor from his third-party settlement, providing for implementation, providing for an effective date.
Moved by Councilman Roth, second by Councilman Cannonball. Any further questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Councilman Cannonball? Yes. Councilwoman Konski? Yes. Councilwoman Avila? Yes. Councilman Roth? Yes. Vice Mayor Bailey? Yes. Mayor Losner?
Yes.
The motion carries.
And tab 10.
Tab 10 is a resolution of the City Council of the City of Homestead, Florida, approving the settlement of all claims made by Zeta Calero, providing for implementation, providing for an effective date.
Moved by Councilman Roth, second by Councilman Cannonball. No further discussion. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Avila? Yes. Councilman Roth? Yes. Councilwoman Konski? Yes. Councilman Cannonball? Yes. Vice Mayor Bailey? Yes. Mayor Losner?
Yes.
The motion carries.
Mr. Manager, anything further?
No, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. With that, if there's nothing further, Councilman Roth?
Just real quick, I don't remember if I've asked this before, maybe I have, and I haven't gotten the answer to it yet. Accounts receivables for utilities and a plan of collection. Can we get those dollar amounts and what the plan for collection is? Because I'm assuming that bill is pretty high right now, and I'd like to see what the action plan is to bring some of that money in so we can start making some more improvements to the city.
Oh,
So-
and
so,
if I
Mr.
might, Mr. Manager, I was going to announce that I've asked management to get some date availabilities for 2 separate workshops. One includes that. And there are several different silos and categories of past due and unpaid, owner occupied, tenant bills, pre-Andrew, COVID. We have a lot of different silos to deal with. So I've asked them to get that together and we'll schedule a workshop. And the second workshop would be with respect to, I would like to see us all sit down and put the cards on the table and have a serious discussion about, for each one of us personally, what's a go and what's a no-go for the old City Hall site, and see if we can cobble a plan together for advertising. We're all not going to agree on financing, product, but let's get as close as we can. No. No, nothing. I'm sorry, Mr. Manager, did I miss anything? Sorry.
No, Mr. Mayor, you covered it all.
Okay. But no, that's definitely, at least on my radar, and I know that the unpaid utility bills are significant. And we're going to have those tough conversations just like we had with the homeowner tonight. And, 25,000 is better than no thousand. We have a motion to adjourn? Moved and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Thank you all. Thank you, council. Good night.